Hi guys, how you doing? This is Lucia. So I decided to come in today to make a video because I've been watching videos about emotions mainly, and about emotional eating and how their emotions are surfacing with therapy or by reading books. So I know some of you made videos and it was really great. It was amazing. A New Life for Jen, she made this video about the Shrink Yourself book, and then Kim also made a video. I can't remember your YouTube name, but you know who you are. Made also a video about the same book, Shrink Yourself. Janine was talking about emotional eating, and Becky was talking about how she was drawn to eat again while she's going through therapy with her husband. So I just want to talk a little bit about the therapy process, how this whole emotion works. So here's the thing. We think that, okay, I'm going to go to therapy because I'm feeling like crap and I want to feel better. And a lot of people think also, like, you can clearly see that there's something wrong, but you're handling it. And you said, I don't need therapy because I'm fine. Or you go to therapy, you talk about it, and 2 days later, oh, I'm feeling better, I don't need therapy anymore. And so the way therapy works is like this. If something happened to us, and we, like with us with food, okay, let's see me, I've been through a lot in my life. And at some point back in my past, I learned to eat and to overeat to compensate for my lack of skills, I would say, or my unwillingness to deal with my problems. So I rather eat and shove down that uncomfortable feeling of sadness or of anxiety or whatever, powerlessness or whatever feeling I had in the past. I was eating to shove it down. I didn't want to feel it. I did not want this there, so I chose something that gave me pleasure instead, and I went to food. I've been self-analyzing myself for a long time. Long time. Since I'm a kid, my mom, she had me in therapy when I was a kid. So I know the process. I grew up with an aunt who was like one of the most important people in my life, and she's a psychologist, and she's one of my role models in my life, if not the highest one I have. And so I am very familiar with therapy. And then I decided at some point that I wanted to become a psychologist. So I've been studying about it and learning things about it. So one thing that I've learned, and that's from my personal experience, not even in school, is that when we go to therapy, we feel like, what the fuck am I doing here? Because I'm feeling worse than when I came in for. The reason is because we were shoving it down. We were displacing the feelings towards something else. We were denying reality. We were avoiding feelings. So, but by doing that doesn't mean that they all go away. You know, some stuff goes away. Some stuff you just move on. But some stuff, it's there. If you had a feeling at some point that you felt powerless, and I think that's one of the worst feelings, is when you feel powerless towards something. And another situation comes by and it reminds you of that feeling, you're going to have those emotions that are, just shoved down you, just come up and surface again. So, Becky, when you go to therapy and with your husband, and then you say, well, he's feeling bad and I'm feeling bad, of course you are. Because you are dealing with those important issues that you were trying to avoid, that it might be bothering you, but he didn't want to deal with it, or it might be bothering him and you didn't want to deal with it, or him. So now you are addressing it. And if you have a good therapist, he or she will help you through this. So you have to feel crappy. You have to experience those emotions. And your therapist is going to give you the tools to cope with these things, or to solve some of the problems, or to just accept some things that we cannot change. Same thing happened with the book, Shrink Yourself. So although I know all the emotions and all everything, I identified in me moments where I wanted to eat reading that book. Why? Because it was touching and giving me examples of situations where I did go and I eat. I ate and I shoved my emotions down, and I was trying to avoid everything. I didn't want to feel it. I couldn't afford to feel it. When I came here, I still can't afford to be depressed. I can't afford to any of my emotions to put me down. I don't want to cry and lose it. I want to be strong. However, we have to deal with those emotions. So, ladies, when you read that book and you felt like you were losing control and you went right back on eating, it's because you took a approach to your life now to try to avoid all that. You want to deny that person you were. You want to avoid those feelings, and you want to embrace a new life. That is awesome, and I agree with it. And to be honest, I think if this is working for you, just keep on doing it. But if you still have those moments where you feel powerless towards food, I think it's important to address those feelings. But if you are doing this only by reading a book and you don't have a guidance from a specialist, from a professional that will help you through this and give you the tools and give you a hand to help you out, I think you're right to stop reading the book, because that's why there are therapists. That's why we pay to go to them. That's why I am investing so much time and money in my life to become a therapist, because you need somebody to help you through this. Otherwise, you're going to do the same thing you did before. You will just avoid and shove food in your mouth. And that was what was happening. The big problem is, I didn't read the rest of the book yet. I didn't have time. You guys didn't read it yet. I don't know how good or bad the book is. All I know is that you read what the guy presented to you. Okay, this is what emotional eating is. Do you identify yourself with it? Of course we do, right? So he sent you right back to that powerless moment where you were eating, and the reasons why you ate, how that made you feel, because that's what he's describing in the book. Oh, I felt this way, I ate because of that, blah, blah, blah. So he is sending you right back. So you were surprised by your reaction? It's no surprise at all. That's how it is supposed to work. You touch on those things that you were avoiding. Now, with that being said, I would not advise you to go back to the book at this point. By being a bariatric patient myself, I know how hard it is. If you have a therapist, though, I would read the book. If some of you have therapy, and address each chapter with your therapist, pinpointing what really hit you and made you, feel like, oh my God, this is me. Because at this point, I am not sure whether we can really learn how to handle this situation, because I'm not there yet, so I can't say. But all I know is that at this point, it looks like these emotional episodes are going to come over and over again. If you have learned a way to avoid it, and it's not being, what's the word that I'm looking for? If it's not damaging you in any way, just keep on doing what you're doing. You know, if you read the book and that's not working for you, just put it aside. But if you want to understand why you do this, if you want to pay the price of being overwhelmed for a while, and if you have a therapist to guide you through it, I would suggest you read the book. I didn't read it. I don't know if it's good or not. Or don't read the book, but address this with the therapist. You already know, you pinpoint, you identified yourself as an emotional leader. Take that to therapy. Take that to the support groups. Let's support each other in this manner. I just want to clarify that it's no surprise to me that you felt this way. When you were talking and I was, oh yeah, because I felt the same way. I felt like, oh my God, all those feelings came back up. I have PTSD. It's a post-traumatic stress disorder. And that's caused by a very abusive relationship I had with my first husband, which is my husband. We are still legally married, go figure. I mean, I know why, but anyhow. And because of that relationship, which is as logical as I am, as positive as I am, as understanding of my psyche and my emotions as I am, it's hard for me to deal with these emotions. It triggers me. Some situations, some people, some foods, some situation. It triggers that thing in me, and it's hard to control, and it's like I am my own therapist because I talk myself out of it. And it's like I call it the rebel, and the Mr. T is my therapist, which is me, and the rebel, it's the side of me that sometimes gets irrational. The rebel is being tamed, though. It's better, but it is hard. It's a hard thing. It's not an easy task to do it, but don't deny it. Don't avoid it. If you're not ready now, don't do it now. But I believe that we all have to touch on those reasons and those topics that initially drawn us to food. And I don't know if we'll ever be cured of it, but I believe that that's what I am aiming for. It's to get to that point where I can find something in my life, in a moment where those things are going to happen, and I'm going to learn how to deal with them, and don't feel so bad. And to be honest, I am getting there. I'm not feeling powerless anymore. I don't feel like desperate as I did before. I still feel the same emotions. I still feel sometimes I want to eat. But I'm not feeling guilty. I'm not feeling bad about myself anymore. It's a whole new thing. And I want to empower myself, and I want to help you empower yourself, And I think we are not all the same. Each of us has a different fingerprint, and each of us has a different blueprint, I would say. I mean, it's like all the plumbings and everything will be the same in everybody else. Like we have hands and the heart and the throat and the stomach, but we are built different because we are different. So maybe what helps me won't help you, and what helps you won't help me, and we each need to find what it is that help us through this. So Becky, don't be discouraged. Push through and be honest and open with your therapist and your husband in therapy. Anything you have to address it there with a person who's going to help you through it. Janine, honey, you are amazing. Emotional eating happens, and just believe that you are going to get through it, okay? And ladies, New Life for Jan, Kim, and all the other ladies that comment about the book, if you want to put it aside, put it aside. But if you can, one day come back and address it with the book or something else, just do it, because I think it's important. And now you already know that the emotions are going to come up and you have to deal with them and learn how to deal with them. So next time around that you decide, okay, it's time to handle this, be prepared to handle with emotions. You already know it. It's going to come up. You're going to be prepared. And you're going to have a plan. How am I going to deal with this? Okay? So I'm at 15 minutes. I'm not even sure if this thing is going to load. I'm going to try. And I'll be back tomorrow with my weekly weigh-in and the body shot that I completely forgot on the 21st. I might even do it after this. But anyhow, I'll have to go. I love you guys. I hope I could help in some way. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye.